What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my live stream. It is episode two. Episode two. We're gonna talk about ride by wire, modern electronics, ruining our sport or not. I don't know. Is yet to be determined, I think. But before we get too far into that, we got to start off every episode with a little bit of two-stroke magic. So this is Jeremy McGrath, the now retired king of Supercross, riding a Kawasaki KX 500. Man, I never get tired of that. I could watch and listen to a two-stroke all day long. All right, before we get into technology and how it's ruining our lives, just kidding, I really don't believe that. But it's an interesting topic to discuss. Before we get into that, man, let's jump into a little bit of news. Euro 5 specification, man. This stuff is starting to get out of control. So Kawasaki had a new bike release launch just a couple days ago, 2 days ago, November 12th. And the story I heard is that they're having problems meeting Euro 5 spec. So here's the deal. So for Euro 5 spec, the rules of engagement are new models have to meet Euro 5 spec in 2021. And models that met the previous spec, Euro 4, are kind of grandfathered into 2021. They get a year, essentially. So here we've got the Ducati Panigale V2 on the left, V4, R, and S models in the center and the right. The Panigale V2 is already Euro 5 spec compliant, supposedly, but the V4s, the S and R models, are not. But that's okay because they do meet Euro 4, and so they're good until the drop dead date at some point in 21. I'm not sure exactly when that is. So you might be asking, what the heck is Euro 5 spec? So here's the difference between Euro 4 and Euro 5. And for me, the most staggering part is the durability. So if you're riding a bike that is Euro 4 spec compliant, if I read that correctly, that basically means it has to meet the carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, etc., for 20,000 kilometers of that vehicle's life. But Euro 5 not only have all of the carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, and blah 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 blah. Not only are they more stringent, but they have to meet that for the life of the vehicle. That's insane. That's just utterly insane. Driving and listening. Hey, voices, how you doing? Don't drive and watch or text. Stay safe. Oh man, that Euro 5 spec stuff is it's kind of crazy. It's a little bit scary too. But it gets worse. So if you're in the United States, i.e., you're just not in Europe, you're not subject to Euro 5 standards, you might be asking, why do I care? Well, they're kind of leading the way in terms of the most stringent policies that vehicles have to meet, and I would say maybe California is second to them. So here are the actual standards for the United States. EPA, that's federal government, but CARB, I think, is California, and so they have their own deal. If you look at the numbers of carbon monoxide, hydrocarbons, the EPA has essentially caught up to California That's a little scary. Um, the main difference is useful life and warranty. 5 years, 30,000 kilometers, whatever. Um, what scares me the most is they're probably going to start trying to meet the same guidelines that the Euro specs do. Maybe they don't start off with Euro 5. I hope they don't start off with Euro 5. That would just be madness. But here's the thing that gets me the most. This is just utter madness. This is a picture of the power plant here in Colorado Springs. Look at all of that steam coming out. This is a coal burning power plant. We've got train tracks right down the road from my house, and multiple times a day they'll be hauling coal from the mountains down and dumping a bunch load off at the power plants as they travel south. And I'm just thinking, like, why are they picking on motorcycles? Why are they making such stringent rules for bikes and cars too? And right down the street, the heart of the city in terms of power is a coal burning power plant. Like, if you want to really make a big dent into pollution, start start with the power plants, not the motorcycles. The motorcycles provide the least amount of pollution. I mean, there's I don't know what the numbers are, but there's so many fewer motorcycles out on the road, and they pollute so much less than a car, let alone a power plant. You got to remember, these things are running 24/7. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. None of that is in my control, and that's just my 2 cents, man. Okay, I'm really feeling bad for Suzuki. This is the JGR Suzuki rig for racing Supercross and Motocross here in the United States. I don't know if you've heard, but they were not able to seal the deal for 2021 with Suzuki. Whatever funds Suzuki was offering JGR to run their race team wasn't enough. At least for now, JGR has closed up shop. There will be no I say no factory presence for Suzuki in the 21 Supercross and Motocross series, but there's still time. We got a month and a half left, right? Supercross starts in January. There's still time for them to put something together, but you just kind of get the feeling that whatever they put together, it's going to be half-assed. Now, in this picture, you'll notice they've got a title sponsor, Auto Trader, on the back of the rig. But in this next picture, no title sponsor. My monkey butt logo's in the way, but let's move this guy over. No title sponsor on the back of the trailer. Just JGR and Suzuki Factory Racing. So, I was wondering, like, why, and this isn't a COVID thing. This is not a COVID thing. JGR has been struggling for a couple of seasons now in terms of title sponsorship and the amount of money that Suzuki's willing to put up for them to run their race team. They almost folded last year. So this isn't a result of COVID. All the COVID is probably not making it easy for them. That said, I came up with an idea. And I'm really surprised nobody has thought of this before. So in this next image, with COVID being such a thing now, why hasn't anybody gone after one of these pharmaceutical companies for a title sponsorship? I mean, these pharmaceutical companies are in the news more now, at least here in the United States, than they've ever been in the news. Why not chase one of these guys down? Johnson & Johnson, look at this. I think this is a good looking mock-up here. We've got the Johnson & Johnson logo on the left. We've got base max required to enter on the right. I think it'd go over well, man. And, it's a pharmaceutical company. You're talking big bucks. Running your race team would probably just be pocket change for them. Anyway, I'm half joking, but I don't think it's that far-fetched, to be honest with you. I really don't. Prairie Boy, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. How you doing up north? Getting a lot of snow? We've been blessed with pretty good weather, man. I've been getting some riding in, but not a lot. Just some. All right. Let's get friggin' cold, dude. Sorry. It's cold here overnight, but not so much during the day. We've had like I said, we've had some nice weather. We've got a nice forecast coming up this week, but you just never know in Colorado, man. It can change quite rapidly. All right, let's get to the main topic for tonight. Yeah, technology, specifically technology on crotch rockets, and not just crotch rockets. They're on sport touring bikes. I'm not talking about just ride by wire, but also launch control, slide control, lift control, the full gamut of technology that are on bikes. Probably for like the last 5 or 6 years. I think BMW is probably a revolutionary manufacturer when it comes to electronics. They kind of hit the scene and forced everybody else to step up. But now everybody's got this technology. So I did a poll. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a poll in my story. Also advertising my live stream tonight. But 85% of the people said, no, we haven't taken tech too far. I think, Moto G Spot, what's up? How you doing, man? Early morning? Down under? I hope it's a nice day out there. I hope you get some riding in. Sunday morning for you, right? So 85% of the people voted no, we haven't taken tech too far. And I kind of agree, with one exception. So let's get into the tech first. So we all have smartphones. At least pretty much everybody I know has a smartphone. I'm pretty sure everybody on this stream has a smartphone. Inside our smartphones, we've got these things called accelerometers and gyroscopes. And so basically, take your phone, you can twist it around. Like if you're holding it in portrait mode and then you lay it over in landscape mode and you've got some kind of app up, that app knows you've switched into landscape mode because of the accelerometer. The accelerometer tells the app, and then the app can change its display, right? Maybe you've played a video game where you're controlling something on the screen by moving your phone left and right, up and down. Same technology exists in sport bikes today, and a lot of bikes, not just sport bikes, touring bikes, sport touring bikes. I don't know if adventure bikes have them, but it's in a lot of motorcycles across different manufacturers and different genres. So, how does this apply to, say, a crotch rocket, a race bike? I'm huge into racing. I follow World Superbike, MotoGP, and I don't know. It's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna play a clip. Let me set this up for you. So this is a MCN Motorcycle News website. I frequent them a lot. I get a lot of news from that site. And this is a very skilled test rider who's test riding Jonathan Ray's 2016. So this is a 4+ year old video. And he's test riding Jonathan Ray's 2016 World Superbike winning machine. And for those of you who don't follow World Superbike, Jonathan Ray is, at least if you go by statistics, easily the best World Superbike rider that series has ever seen. So let me play this for you guys. Listen when he starts talking about the electronics. It's about a 45-second clip. He starts talking about the electronics, and he's talking about the bike leaning over, cutting off 2 cylinders. Listen to the engine note. You can actually hear it go from an inline 4 to an inline twin. It's really, really interesting.
The final thing is the electronics. Now, this bike just makes weird noises everywhere you go around the track. The engine braking control, the fact that it's got twin throttle bodies, so in the middle of the corner, 2 throttle bodies shut down, so you're only really running on 2 cylinders, so you've got a lot less torque in the middle of the corner, up to about 20-30%. So the bike's a lot more manageable, so it kind of gurgles as it's falling and grumbles, like a big bang engine really. And then as you lift the bike up and go full throttle, then you've got the full glory of a 4-cylinder screamer at your right wrist. And then then you've got the traction control and the anti-wheelie. Now you've got to really trust the electronics. If you feather the throttle out of the corner, you confuse the electronics. So the technique, which is easier said than done, is just to come out of the corner and just pin it.
Just come out of the corner and pin it, man. You just trust the electronics and just grab a handful, and everything will just keep you from crashing. I guess that's mostly true. And I love how he said it's easier said than done. Oh my God, it's got to be easier said than done. To be able to just come out of the corner, partially leaned over, and just open the throttle and just, you know what? Traction control will save me. Slide control will save me. The electronics are tuned. I'm good to go. Just pin it. Just pin it, man. No, no, not me, son. Not me. um, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Here, I guess I'm good with all of these electronic advancements. It freaks me out that my wrist is not directly connected to the butterflies on the throttle bodies, carburetors for really old school people. The fact that there's something interpreting me twisting the throttle and deciding how far it's going to open up the throttle bodies for me, and it's cool that that's tunable and you can change that, but it just doesn't feel right. Now that said, I test rode a Yamaha sport touring bike that had throttle by wire, which opens a door for like a real no live kidding cruise control system. And I tell you what, I hopped on the interstate motorway if you're in Europe, and that was awesome. Real bona fide cruise control. To see it adjust the speed going up a hill or down a hill, that was pretty slick. That was pretty sweet because I don't have that on my crotch rocket. I've got a throttle lock, which is, you know, poor man's cruise control, if you will. So that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to deny. But just the idea, the fact that I'm no longer connected from the throttle to the throttle bodies. There's no cable there. That freaks me out a little bit. Um, and as long as everything is tunable and I can control, I can turn off any of the rider aids. I can turn off traction control. Even my 2015 ZX10R has traction control and power modes, right? So I can select low, medium, high for my power modes. I can select 3 modes for traction control, but I can turn traction control completely off. So as long as they don't take away our ability to to control all of those rider aids, I think I'm okay with it. I think I'm in that 85% group that says no, we haven't taken tech too far. But as soon as you don't have control over that, as soon as you're really just kind of a passenger and the bike's doing everything for you, um, I don't know. I think that might be the moment where I'm out, or I start going buying old bikes that um, don't take that experience away from me. So I think Yamaha, and I'm sure Yamaha's not the only manufacturer, but I love Yamaha's screen, and I love the control that they give you over all the different rider aids, right? So going from left to right, you've got your power, and they've got 4 different power modes. You've got TCS as your traction control. They've got 5 different levels of traction control. That's kind of insane. Like I said, my hey home bees, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, totally agree with you, Chewy. We should have the choice. Um, I think TC should not be there. Traction control. Oh yeah, I'm with you, man. I kind of feel like, I don't know, if it makes it safer on the road and we have control over configuring it, I'm all for it. Prairie Boy, I think the problem will be people will rely too much on it. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think people will get lazy, and like for example, like okay, so back to the screen here. We've got power left to right, traction control, slide control, launch control. You've got a quick shifter that's got 2 different modes. I guess that's just for aggression. Like maybe on the track, your quick shifter is working a little bit more aggressively as far as throttle blips and those kinds of things at higher RPMs. And then next to quick shift, you've got LIF is your lift control, which to me is anti wheelie. Now ERS is your electronic suspension. this is a Yamaha R1, so clearly it's an R1M model that has the electronic suspension. The non-M models do not. Um, Lift control, like, so, going back to what Pereira is just saying, if you've got lift control and you've got launch control and you're really aggressive with how you set those up, what would happen? Like, you don't know how to use a clutch anymore because the computer's doing everything for you. And what happens if you go to the starting grid? Maybe you do track days on the weekend. Maybe you're doing some amateur racing, or maybe you're just at a stoplight and you're just going to do a quick launch, and you turn launch control off and you just drop the clutch and the throttle, and you're just expecting everything, to work for you, and whoops, you loop out. Oh man, yeah. I'm I'm only a fan as long as you've got the control. And the other thing that I like about Yamaha's setup, and I'm sure the other manufacturers have this, is the presets on the far left. You've got A, B, C, and D. You can preset those, so that it remembers your different modes. So like if you're on the street, you've got a mode for street, you've got a mode for rain. Maybe you do track days, you've got a mode for track days, and maybe you have modes for different tracks depending on how good those tracks are. So I've got an MP4 for
all be adjusted individually or as a group to match your riding style and conditions. These are the following: power modes, PWR, traction control system, TCS, slide control system, SCS, launch control system, LCS, quick shift system, QSS, lift control, LIF, electronic race suspension, ERS.
Oh, sorry if I scared you with that clip. The input volume was set pretty high on that clip, and whoops, didn't mean to do that. My bad. All right, guys. Yeah, yeah. This is episode 2 for you guys that missed the intro, and I would love to hear. I'm always looking for new topics. So uh, if you guys want me to attack a topic for episode 3, leave a comment, and don't forget to hit the like button. I need more likes. Appreciate everybody stopping by. I'm going to be doing these every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I'm not going to be doing those weekly recap videos anymore. We're going to talk about racing, World Superbike, Motocross, Supercross, MotoGP, industry news stuff, just anything and everything motorcycles. So if you guys think is something you want me to research and gather information on, and make that like the next topic of discussion, man, feel free. You can also hit me on social media, Instagram, Twitter. I don't do Facebook, but I'm on Instagram and Twitter, and obviously YouTube. So yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys, and keep the rubber side down. Stay safe out there. Hopefully we'll see you next Saturday at 5. And again, leave a comment, and yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.